As a reminder, this is a public meeting and is being recorded. Please ensure your line is muted for those calling in. Thank you. First, we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As you may know or heard last week, April is National County Government Month, and we'll be talking about a little bit about County Government Month every Tuesday of this month. And later this month, you can also look forward to our annual State of the County report, which details the many ways that our agencies are working to serve each of our residents every day. In this report, you'll be able to read about some of our county's highlights from last year, such as our historic RISE Child Care initiative to make high-quality child care more affordable for Franklin County families, the more than $50 million we allocated to affordable housing, rent and mortgage support, homelessness prevention, and other housing initiatives, our double AAA credit score, the new Cafe Overlook Workforce Development Program, our Racial Equity Council, and so much more. April is also Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we've lit our government tower blue in recognition. We are also pleased to welcome some guests today from the Center of Healthy Families, which works with parenting teens and their children to help them to create safe, stable households, and which has seen some tremendous success. Joining us first is Tashia Safford, President and CEO of the Center for Healthy Families, and then we will have a resolution to present to you and would like to take a few pictures when you're done. Welcome.
Thank you, and good morning to both honorable, can you hear me?
I said good morning.
Oh, good morning, Honorable Commissioners Boyce as well as Crawley. It is an honor to be here with you to recognize April as National Prevent Child Abuse Month. April's a special month. We've had a number of holy days to celebrate. It's also the month where we have Black Maternal Infant Week. We come to you today, we have a short video through the Black Girls and Young Women's Collective, but I really want to call out that when it comes to the role of community members, when we have families in need, recognizing that they should have the needs and resources before there is a crisis. Cue the video, Robin.
Hi, my name is Suzanne. In the United States, the month of April is recognized as National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Child abuse, endangerment, or maltreatment can include any act or failure to act that results in actual or potential harm and can occur in the child's home or in the organization, schools, or groups they interact with. Blue is the color designated to support child abuse prevention, and pinwheels are the symbol for this cause, which represents the bright future that all children deserve. Preventing child abuse and neglect is a responsibility that everybody shares. Educating and spreading the word about child abuse prevention helps our communities to take action, strengthen families, and raise awareness to end all forms of abuse and neglect.
Hi, my name is Nia, and throughout the month of April, the Center for Healthy Families will partner with community organizations and co-sponsor a series of events to engage and educate the public about these important issues. The center provides direct services to pregnant and parenting youth in innovative ways that address their holistic needs. Also, the center educates the public and advocates for policy changes that impact these groups critical to our community's future.
Hi, my name is Zai. Franklin County Children's Services cares about children and families. Protecting children by strengthening families is at the very core of what they do. Franklin County Children's Services is a public agency mandated by the law to provide protection to children in its community. Each year, Franklin County Children's Services supports approximately 30,000 children and their families through prevention, protection, placement, and permanency programs. The agency is committed to keeping children safe and families whole. FCCS protects and cares for children by collaborating with parents, families, and their communities. Children's Services believes that in advocating for safety, protect, and well-being aid of each child they serve in a manner that honors families and culture.
The Center for Healthy Families is proud to partner with Franklin County Children's Services because we believe that there is a partnership in building together. And child abuse and neglect are preventable, and all of our community benefits where our families and children are well.
My name is Miata Joe. I'm 20 years old. I attended Columbus State of Community. I'm sorry, I'm kind of.
Take your time.
Okay. Can I start over? Absolutely. Okay. My name is Miata Joe. I am 20 years old. I attended Columbus State Community College. I'm studying human science. I was asked to join the Center of for Health Human Science for Children, Franklin County. I'm gonna. I am also serve as Children's Services YMB. I'm the Vice President of Children's Services. I was asked to join. I was asked to for out of Franklin for foster care.
We have a young person that is very new at this, so thank you so much for your patience. She is one of our advocates. What she is sharing with us is that, overall, when they're working together one-on-one, it's good, but she's in a room full of adults, so thank you so much for your patience. She is one of the advocates and advisory members from Franklin County Children's Services, and she stands with us today as an advocate to say that the entire community needs to come together, and she is also aged out of foster care, and we're extremely proud of her because she's now in college, and she's created a path for herself. So let's give her a round of applause. Thank you. I'll pause for questions if there are any questions.
I don't have any questions. Do you have any questions or comments?
Thank you, Commissioner Crawley. Let me just say, one to Miata, where'd she go? Oh, thank you so much for having the courage to stand in front of a room of adults and share your experiences and your pathway. I want to encourage you in your pathway at Columbus State. What a great place to get an education, but more importantly, the responsibility that you'll have in taking that education and the leadership in your advocacy role right now and putting that to work in our community. That's what we're applauding you for, is that work and the commitment that you have there. So thank you for what you do and what you represent. Tashia, thank you so much for being here today and bringing the entire crew. The work that you all do is really at the center of our Rise Together work to address poverty and racism, and embedded in that are our families, our children, and you are on the front lines. You're on the front lines, and so we value and appreciate your work. You've been doing it quite some time now and doing it well, and so we appreciate that partnership and want to encourage you as well. And to all of your guests that are here today with you, we appreciate you being on the front lines in this battle for us. I know I speak on behalf of my colleagues Crawley and O'Grady when I say that we recognize that we all have a role to play in strengthening our families. And it starts with people like yourself who are right there connected to families. And I just can't think of a more vulnerable place than what children represent. They represent vulnerability for that family unit, and they represent vulnerability for our future. And you're protecting that. And so I just want to thank you and encourage you and say continue the great work in public service. God bless you all for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a resolution to present and take pictures, and he said it really well. I don't have any questions. I do have just one comment to say that I have done, I don't know, however many public speaking events, probably well over 100 just in the last year. And every time I am nervous, and when I'm in a room full of people, and you did wonderful. And so thank you for being here and sharing your story. And thank you for all the work that you all do. And my colleague and I have a resolution for you.
Thank you.
All right. You can hand it to her. She's right behind you, so she can put the resolution in. All right. Next up, if I can get approval of the minutes for the March 28th, 2023, and April 4th, 2023 general sessions.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Thank you. The minutes have been approved.
Thank you. First up, we have domestic relations.
Resolution number 27623, resolution authorizing a contract with Ohio Guidestone in the amount of $23,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Barb Reeves, Deputy Director. This first resolution is requesting the approval of a contract in the amount of $23,000 with Ohio Guidestone to provide supervised visitation services for our parents in our family recovery court. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 276-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 27623 has been adopted. Resolution number 27723, resolution authorizing a contract with Capital University Law School in the amount of $48,000.
This resolution is requesting the contract approval with Capital University Law School in the amount of $48,000 to provide training for our community volunteers for our restorative justice program. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
Okay, if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 277-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 27723 has been adopted. Resolution number 27823, resolution authorizing a First Amendment to the 2023 grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Youth Services in the amount of $117,960.
This last resolution is requesting an increase of $117,960 to our 2023 grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Youth Services. These changes include increasing the budget for 6 of our programs due to the rise in the number of youth referrals. Additionally, we're adding 1 more treatment provider to our home-based services, and then reducing 4 of our programs due to a decline in the number of youth referrals. Pending any questions, the court requests the approval of this resolution.
Okay, if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 278-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 27823 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful day. Next up, Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 27923, resolution reappointing members to the Franklin County Transportation Improvement District Board of Trustees, Franklin County, Ohio.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Cornell Robertson, honored to serve as county engineer for everyone in Franklin County. I'll start out by wishing you a happy Infrastructure Tuesday.
Happy Infrastructure Tuesday.
Yes, thank you. In fact, every day at the Franklin County Engineer's Office is Infrastructure Day.
Yes.
Passionate. On with the regularly scheduled program. This first resolution, as stated, is for the Franklin County Transportation Improvement District, which was created by your board on March 12th of 2019. The TID has proven to be an effective tool of collaboration, also known as the Franklin County Way, for transportation infrastructure investments, as well as a tool to seek and receive additional funding for such infrastructure available only to TIDs. In Franklin County, the TID has facilitated renovations to the Front Street parking garage resulting from ODOT's I-70-71 Phase 4R, 6R construction, as well as construction of a new parking lot at 50 East Mound Street, providing 80 additional parking spaces for the courthouse complex. This resolution seeks reappointment of the Franklin County Transportation Improvement District board members for a 2-year term effective March 9th, 2023 through March 8th, 2025. Those members include the following: Kristen Easterday of Columbus Regional Airport Authority, Curtis Williams of the Franklin County Land Bank, Zach Woodruff of the City of Whitehall, Eric Janis, Deputy County Administrator, and yours truly, Cornell Robertson, your friendly Franklin County Engineer. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
There are no comments. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm concerned about that last appointment, but I'm going to accept it this time. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 279-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 279-23 has been adopted.
Thank you. Drainage engineer.
Resolution number 280-23. Resolution approving a ditch maintenance petition for Jefferson Manor, Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
This 38-lot subdivision by Pulte Homes is in the northeast part of the county in Jefferson Township along the east side of Wagner Road and south of McOwen Road. With this resolution, I am asking you to approve the ditch maintenance petition while there is still only one property owner. This petition will establish assessments for each lot once sold to ensure funding for future maintenance of the drainage infrastructure. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 280-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 280-23 has been adopted.
Thank you. Mr. Engineer.
Resolution number 281-23. Authorization for the Franklin County Engineer to enter into a modification of the intergovernmental agreement with the City of Westerville for bridge repairs to Schrock Road over Alum Creek and the resurfacing of a portion of Dempsey Road, City of Westerville, London Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $37,847.35.
Commissioners, on May 24, 2022, your board authorized the execution of an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Westerville for repairs as stated to Schrock Road Bridge over Alum Creek and for resurfacing of a portion of Dempsey Road east of Hempstead Road. Now that the improvements have been completed, it is necessary to modify the original agreement to provide additional compensation to Westerville based upon the actual quantities used and the actual costs incurred. I respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 281-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 281-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 282-23. Approval of the Jefferson Manor Phase 1 subdivision plat, Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, for the last two resolutions, Nick Soulis will present them. And I'll remind you that today is National Be Kind to Lawyers Day, so please keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer.
I'm going to need proof of this day.
It's-
I want to see this in
Google it,
writing,
Commissioner,
okay?
Google
Yeah,
it.
Google
It-
it.
Just make a day
Yeah,
out of it.
because
Anything.
everything on Google is accurate,
It's-
that's for sure. Yeah.
It wouldn't, if it wasn't on the internet, it wouldn't be true, all right?
That's
And it took me a couple of weeks to find a day that actually honors attorneys, so
Oh, so
please
you
just
found
give
this
us.
day, huh? How convenient. You wouldn't found this day, huh? Okay.
Commissioners, as Engineer Robertson stated, Nick Soulis, Government Affairs Liaison. This next resolution is related to the Drainage Engineer's resolution, seeks approval of the Jefferson Manor, Phase 1 subdivision plat. This subdivision, as noted earlier, is located in Jefferson Township, and the approval of this resolution will allow the developer to begin to sell lots and to start building homes. Happy to answer any questions and respectfully request your approval.
All right, if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 282-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 282-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 283-23. Farlington Drive and Fieldwind Drive in the Farms at Jefferson Phase 9 subdivision, accepted for public maintenance and shall become part of the Jefferson Township road system, Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Commissioners, our final resolution, as the title indicates, seeks acceptance of Farlington Drive and Fieldwind Drive within the Farms at Jefferson Phase 9 subdivision. The engineer's office has inspected the streets and determined that they meet all requirements and specifications. This resolution will allow the developer to proceed with selling the homes and grant occupancy permits. So pending any questions, we ask for your approval.
Okay. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 283-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 283-23 has been adopted.
Thank you all very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You
Happy
too.
Infrastructure Day.
Yes, thank you.
And
And
happy
happy
be
lawyer-
kind to
oh,
a
yeah.
lawyer.
We appreciate that. Attorneys in the room.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the sheriff's office.
Resolution number 284-23. Resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Albert Smith, Assistant Finance Director for the Sheriff's Office. Our resolution authorizes a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $24,236 for our Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. This supplemental will be used to purchase 2 forensic recovery of evidence device workstations to secure, save, and analyze data from hard drives and other media devices. This purchase will be reimbursed by our current ICAC grant. Pending any questions, I ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 284-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 284-23 has been adopted.
Thank
Thank you, Commissioners.
Yeah, have a good one. Next up, treasurer.
Resolution number 285-23. Resolution authorizing a second amendment to the agreement for the investment advisory services with Meter Public Funds Incorporated in the amount of $82,500.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jacqueline Treadwell, and I'm the Budget and Purchasing Coordinator for the Franklin County Treasurer. The Franklin County Treasurer's Office is seeking a resolution authorizing a second amendment to the agreement for investment advisory services with Meter Public Funds Incorporated, allowing for a third renewal term. The original contract expired on January 31st, 2020, and was renewed for an additional 3 years. That's the first renewal term. The first renewal term expired on January 31st, 2023, and the original contract renewed for an additional 6 months. That's the second renewal term. That expires on August 1st, 2023. The third renewal term will allow for an additional 6 months beginning August 1st, 2023 through February 1st, 2024. The total cost to the county shall not exceed $82,500 for services provided to the Treasurer's Office. Barring any questions, the Treasurer's Office respectfully asks for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 285-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 285-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day. You too. Thank you. Next up, we have Franklin County Data Center.
Resolution number 286-23, resolution authorizing 2 pricing schedules for the service with AT&T associated with the Session Initiation Protocol telecommunication upgrade in the amount of $300,975.
Good morning, Julie Lest, CFO with the Data Center, and with me today is Data Center CIO Adam Frumkin. This resolution provides the county administrator authority to execute 2 AT&T 36-month pricing schedules in an amount not to exceed $300,975. This project has been on our technology roadmap and upgrades our current copper line phone system to a SIP platform that utilizes the internet and allows us to make better use of our voice over IP phones. The new system also has increased security, maintenance, and integration benefits. While we will maintain a small percentage of our existing phone lines, the data center can fund this project through cost savings associated with the AT&T lines that will be discontinued. Pending any questions, we do request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 286-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 286-23 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Veteran Services.
Resolution number 28723. Resolution authorizing an agreement between the Franklin County Board of Commissioners on behalf of Franklin County Office on Aging and the Franklin County Veteran Service Commission Safe Housing and Emergency Response System programs in the amount of $125,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. I'm Angela Klein, and I'm with the Franklin County Veterans Service Commission here today seeking approval to establish an agreement with Office on Aging. This agreement will focus on providing accessibility services, safety issues, minor home repairs, and other environmental needs for qualified veterans, spouses, and surviving spouses. The agreement will be effective from April the 11th of 2023 through December 31st of 2027. I will defer to Director Wingo for any additional comments.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. For over 10 years now, the Veteran Service Commission and Franklin County Office on Aging has worked together collaboratively to serve the needs of our older veterans in Franklin County. This agreement will support the continuation of this partnership where VSC will determine eligibility for home repairs, slight modifications, and emergency response systems, utilizing our contract provider networks. Our agency will then invoice VSC for the agreed-upon service provision and receive reimbursement for them. In closing, I'm excited for this continuation, and this resolution supports goal number 5 of the Rise Together Blueprint.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 287-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 28723 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Office on Aging.
Resolution number 28823. Resolution authorizing the Franklin County Office on Aging to enter into an agreement with Levy Premium Food Service, LP, for food and non-alcoholic beverage services in the amount of $6,800.
Good morning again. Every year, the Franklin County Office on Aging partners with the Columbus Clippers to host the Franklin County Office on Aging Day, also known as Clippers Day at Huntington Park. Clippers Day provides seniors aged 60 and older discounted prices of $6 per ticket and $5 for bleacher seating. This day allows our seniors to come out and interact with other seniors. We're looking for social connectedness. The opportunity to rekindle their love for the American pastime of baseball. During the game, seniors will be treated to a free box lunch and bottled water, which will be provided by our office, the Franklin County Office on Aging, and transportation will also be provided to senior groups of 10 or more at no cost. Celebrating its 21st year, the Franklin County Office on Aging requests that June 8th be proclaimed as Franklin County Office on Aging Day with the Columbus Clippers. And pending any questions, we seek approval of this resolution.
There are no comments or questions. Move for adoption of 288-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 28823 has been adopted. Resolution number 28923. Resolution authorizing a partnership with Spencer for Hire Media, LLC, in sponsoring the 4th Annual Caring for the Caregiver Expo at the Boathouse venue in the amount of $25,000.
Thank you. In the state of Ohio, 1.5 million people fill the role as an unpaid family caregiver. Caregivers provide countless hours of caring for loved ones, such as their parents, spouses, partners, friends, as well as young people, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, things of that nature. With long hours around the clock care, and many are exhausted physically, mentally, and emotionally. Kinship caregivers also are on the rise as more grandparents and other relatives care full-time for minor children that aren't their own. In Ohio, almost 230,000 children live with an adult that is not their biological parent. To help give back to caregivers and our kinship caregivers and allow them the chance to relax, unwind, be exposed to other resources in the community, learn about Medicaid, Medicare, what does that mean to being a caregiver. We look forward to sponsoring for the 2nd year in a row the Caring for the Caregiver Day. This resolution supports goal number 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, we respectfully request approval of this resolution.
I don't have any questions. I just have a comment. I was able to attend last year and caring for the caregiver event and be a speaker. But more importantly, what I really felt great about is that caregivers felt seen. And they felt validated. You know, it is like a thankless job, I know, because I've been a caregiver for my mother for since I was 14. And so, you know, it was a reassurance to, you know, take time for self-care and ask for help and have days of respite. And I think as I got to engage with a number of attendees, they were just so gracious that, you know, there was an event just specifically for them. And I know that this has been going on for a number of years, but me having the opportunity, being a member of this Board of Commissioners and engaging with our caregivers, and it's like, I see you, you know, really makes a difference. So I'm happy to support this resolution and this ongoing work. Thank you.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 289-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 289-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 290-23. Resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the City of Whitehall for case management services.
Thank you. So for the last 30 years, the Franklin County Office on Aging's primary business model has been telephone case management. Last year, the Office on Aging participated in more than 329 events in Franklin County. And one of the things that we learned is that telephone case management doesn't reach every senior in every corner of our county. And so the Franklin County Office on Aging has aligned all of their work with the social determinants of health as well as the goals of the Rise Together Blueprint. So we're really excited because this resolution, as well as the next, takes our telephone case management to where our seniors are in Franklin County. It also focuses on the zip codes where our Franklin County seniors are the most impoverished. So we're excited that our Franklin County Senior Options Program will be available at the City of Whitehall YMCA. The case manager will be on site between that YMCA as well as the Senior Center to provide on-site case management services for our seniors as they come to those centers. And that includes our caregiver and our kinship support in addition to senior options. And we're really excited. I don't know if it's coming out, but we're really excited to have an opportunity to have our case managers in the community where our seniors are. This resolution supports goal number 5 and number 9 of the Franklin County Rise Together Blueprint. And pending any questions, we respectfully request approval of this resolution.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Yeah, so the only thing I love this, I think it's outstanding. You know, it's not a day that goes by that I don't run into a senior that has needs. And generally when I've had to make references to those folks, you all have been just greatly responsive, and I appreciate that. I know Talisa in my office worked closely with you all on a number of constituent cases, and we value that. That being said, are we also establishing this partnership in other suburb partnerships where senior population needs exist, like Reynoldsburg and Gahanna and Grove City and other places in the county that also have those populations? Are we going to replicate this? I do like this model, but I want to make sure we're sort of spreading that around Franklin County.
Understood. It definitely is in our plans. Our next resolution is also placing case managers in the community, not necessarily the municipalities, but in our hospital systems.
Mm-hmm.
So it is definitely in our plans to be in more than one location than just Whitehall or our next resolution of the OSU Hospital, because that's where our seniors are. I mean, our seniors are in the community. They're not necessarily sitting at home looking through a telephone book. You know, for us, we have to go and find them.
Yeah. Well, I definitely will keep up on you on that, because I definitely want to see that replicated in some of the other, just spread out regionally here. It's great work, and I'm looking forward to supporting it.
Thank you.
Yeah. If there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 290-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 290-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 291-23. Resolution authorizing an agreement with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center Department of Emergency Medicine for case management services.
The National Council on Aging states that falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries among older adults. According to the 2022 Franklin County Health Map, over 50% of hospitalizations due to injury are because of falls, the rate of which have increased for adults aged 65 and older by 28% since the previous health map. In 2020, Central Ohio Hospital saw over 1,800 older adults due to fall injury. To allow for better care coordination between inpatient and outpatient services, as well as improve access to programs for older adults with medical needs, the Franklin County Office on Aging will have case managers on site at the Ohio State University Hospital East, working closely with the emergency department for making sure that our seniors, as they come into the emergency room, are able to have access to their other unmet needs. This resolution supports goal number 5 and number 9 of the Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, we request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions.
I do have one question, if you don't mind. So this is a partnership with OSU East. Is this a pilot?
Yes, this is a pilot.
Okay, all right, thank you.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 291-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 291-23 has been adopted.
Thank you. Have a great one. Next up, child support enforcement.
Resolution number 292-23. Resolution authorizing a 4D contract with the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas Division of Domestic Relations and Juvenile Branch in the amount of $1,419,792.17.
Good morning, Commissioners. Susan Brown, representing the Child Support Enforcement Agency. This resolution requests your consideration in approving the Child Support Enforcement Agency's interagency agreement with the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas Division of Domestic Relations and Juvenile Branch beginning February 1st, 2023 through January 31st, 2024, in an amount not to exceed, again, $1,419,792.17. The purpose of this contract is to reimburse the court for expenses associated with the processing, adjudication, and creation of judgment entries on child support initiated cases. The Franklin County CSEA and the Franklin County courts have a long history of successful collaboration in the establishment and management of child support orders. The Franklin County Court of Common Pleas contract can be connected to the Rise Together Blueprint goal number 12 and number 13, connecting parents to their children and ensuring regular and consistent support payments ensure that children have the emotional and financial support and resources they need to thrive. Pending any questions, I request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of, wait a minute, the right?
292, Commissioner.
I feel like I'm sorry, I must have marked it wrong on my sheet. I'm sorry, I wrote a note. 292-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 292-23 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Next up, thank you, economic development and planning.
Resolution number 294-23. Review of petition to annex 98.7 acres, more or less, from Jackson Township to the city of Grove City. Case number ANX-07-23.
Good morning, Commissioners. Matt Brown, Planning Administrator for the Economic Development Planning Department. This resolution is to consider an expedited Type 2 annexation petition of 98.7 acres from Jackson Township to the city of Grove City. The area to be annexed includes 4614 Wrench Road, which is parcel number 160-002653, which is located on the north side of Wrench Road, and an undeveloped parcel located on the south side of Wrench Road with parcel number 160-000156. These parcels are located west of Harrisburg Pike. The petition was signed by all property owners and was filed by Jackson B. Reynolds III on behalf of the property owners. These property owners include the Marilyn W. Trapp Trust, Rodenfels Heritage Trust, James W. and Meredith C. Trapp, Susan Trapp Campbell, John R. Trapp, Ann Sarin, Molly Wang, Carolyn Davidson, and Freedom Christian Fellowship Incorporated. 8.6% of the site's perimeter is contiguous to the city of Grove City, and the city passed resolution number CR-14-23 on March 20th, 2023, identifying the services that will be provided once the annexation is approved, and adopting a statement regarding possible incompatible land uses and zoning buffer. The petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in section 709.021 of the Ohio Revised Code. Pending any questions, staff requests your approval of this annexation.
Thank you. I know we have a speaker's slip, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Commissioner, we do have two. First, I will call Christy McClellan up to the podium. Ms. McClellan is here to speak opposing this resolution. And Ms. McClellan, when you do come up here, you will have 3 minutes to speak. I'll wait till you get situated as you make your way up.
Oh, no, shouldn't be.
There is a little timer that sits right next to the screen on the podium for you. The lights will also indicate as time is winding down, but I will give you a 1-minute warning, okay?
Okay, all right, I'll do my best.
You can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Okay. Morning, Commissioners. Today I represent my community of mostly rural neighbors, typically living on 1 to 5 acres of land with working farms surrounding us and a large subdivision across from few of us. The petition from the Trapp family farm, with representation by Jackson Reynolds attorney, was filed March 14, 2023, along with the church Freedom Christian Fellowship, Inc., represented by Chad Klein. This is according to the website. My question is, the Freedom Fellowship Christian Church sold on or before March 14th. The auditor's website has the transfer of record of being March 16th, 2023. Traditionally, it takes several business days for the recording to take place after closing. Is this acceptable? Must the petitioner own the property they are requesting to be annexed? Without the church, could annexation take place? Would the Trapp family farm be an island zoned into Grove City with all borders still being in Jackson and Pleasant townships? Will you commissioners change the zoning from residential to commercial? The city of Grove City wants to zone a 250,000 square foot data center in our backyards. We're a peaceful community. Our neighbors have calloused hands from hard work, whether they are physical labor or keyboards. We do not want commercial industry in our backyards. We do not want more severe flooding of our properties. We do not want light or sound or additional traffic on our township roads. We are a growing community. We know growth will happen, and we're turning to you for guidance and fair play. Our township did not notify us that this proposed annexation would be taking place. The letter was sent to some of us, most with incorrect addresses. It caused us to not receive the letter dated March 8th and mailed to us with received dates of March 13th or later. Has the petitioners already been in front of you? When a situation is quiet, only 2 or 3 council members knew of the proposed data center, and no one in our border township, Pleasant Township, knew anything of this. Kept in hushed whispers or done so quickly that it slips past the citizens it will hurt, is that a red flag? Is it a red flag to you commissioners that a property no longer owned by the petitioners can continue forward requesting annexation without being the owner? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your comments. I know we have one other speaker to go forward.
That's right, Commissioner. Julie Webb, if you can please come up next.
Ma'am, did you submit your comments? Did you submit your written comments to the clerk at all? Do you have copies of them? Of your comments? You don't? Okay, no worries. I don't want to take your only copy if you've got it. I just wanted to.
Commissioner, I can get an electronic copy. I can correspond with Ms. McClellan.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Same as Ms. McClellan, you'll have 3 minutes, and I will provide you with a 1-minute warning whenever you're ready.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you listening to our concerns. Speaking on behalf of concerns about the annexation for Grove City, the Trapp property, rezoning from high residential community to commercial industrial, and then the 2050 expansion plan growth of Grove City into Jackson and Pleasant Township. My family is very concerned about the impact on multiple fronts, infrastructure and construction to support for the roads that have already been a flood problem, and even moderate rain conditions. We also are concerned about the economic impact to the Darby watershed, which runs along and through two sides of our property. And this, once the building begins and they start to move the land, what does this really involve as far as concerning or causing the impact to the waterway and additional flooding that may cause? I think the issue is that we already have the flooding happening in our area, and the way that the water flows from the potential data center into our property, it would impact, that would be the direction that the water would be going. So what does that really represent? Also concerns about the data center noise, potential noise pollution that it generates from the structural building that would be built long-term. We've discussed this with Pleasant Township trustees, and they have provided an additional letter, and it is directed to the Franklin County Commissioners as well. I'll share that with you, and or in support of our concern. We ask that you hear concerns in addressing the unaddressed questions that we've expressed today, and that we are opposing rezoning from high residential community to commercial and industrial developments. And we are hoping that you might help us from that standpoint. I can pass along.
Thank you. I do have, okay, I was just going to ask, and that's signed by all the trustees?
It is in a public meeting held last week.
Okay, I'll make sure the clerk makes a copy for my colleagues and I. I do have a question about this area. Is it in the Darby Accord area?
It is.
Well, no. I'm asking economic development and planning.
Oh, sorry.
That's something I'm gonna have to check, Commissioner.
Okay.
It's not something that we reviewed as part of the annexation.
Okay. Well, while you're reviewing that, I appreciate your comments. I think, as always, it's helpful to have our assistant prosecutor, Janine Hummer, lay out what our responsibility is and how we're governed by the statute and the law, so you can understand what's in front of us today and what we're voting on.
Good morning, Commissioners. Janine Hummer, First Assistant to Prosecutor Tyack. What you have before you is an annexation request, not anything related to the development or development standards or a rezoning that may come as part of this annexation. Your role as commissioners is to look at the statute, determine whether or not the elements of the statute have been met. What you heard today with regard to a transfer of the property after signing the application for annexation, that did in fact occur. However, the law is specific as it relates to, at the time of the application, the owner had to be the owner. If it had been a case where the property had been transferred prior to the application and the then owner signed it, that would have been a problem, and you could decide whether or not you would want to move forward based on that issue, because they would not have complied with the statute. To date, all the elements of the statutory requirements have been met pursuant to the resolution that you have in front of you. I would tell the residents in that area that it would be very important as this development moves forward that they participate in the municipal system of going to the Board of Zoning and Planning meetings. Those are administrative hearings. There are standards that have to be met, and they have every right to participate, testify with regard to those.
So I just have a question for clarification. The owners or the land was owned by the Trapp Trust at the time of the petition. I just want to make that clear because I know
Yes.
that in the comments.
There are multiple
Right.
owners, but at the time of the petition, yes.
Okay, all right.
Commissioner Carly, may I ask a
Yes.
question? Ms. Summer, if you could stay there for a second. Also, could you perhaps, because this is also a township, so the rezoning will actually come back to, when it is rezoned, there is a process for that.
Yes.
That appropriately gives the residents that are here today an opportunity to be more direct in, I guess, the impact of the rezoning. And so could you explain that process and give them,
Yes,
lay that
so
out for
there are
them?
multiple pieces to a development project. There is your annexation, there is your rezoning, and then there is the post action that occurs with regard to development that occurs and whether or not those standards have been met. The rezoning would come back. The residents are required to receive notice. They may participate at that hearing, and then there are two steps, in fact, because that comes before the Board of Commissioners for final action.
I think Matt
Thank you.
wants to add something.
And I
Oh,
know-
because it's Grove City?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah, because it's from
Right.
the township too. All right, well, I mean, but even still, Grove City has to have a zoning process. There's still for it to be rezoned or variances to be done. They will have a process. So I just want to make sure they're equipped with the
So-
process so that they know there's an opportunity to be on the record, state your concerns, and I would focus your time and energy on the rezoning at Grove City.
And I thought you were asking when there is a matter before a township, but my first comments regarding the process for a municipality does apply here.
Yeah, that was my mistake. For some reason, I just read it through quickly and thought township is in township and we'll have another chance, but I look closer, it says Grove City, so.
Yeah.
But my point to the residents is that this is not the end of the process. In fact, I'd say it's the beginning of the process, and there will be an appropriate opportunity for you to work with Grove City to state your concerns. And at the very least, I want to encourage you, because I gotta say, you have valid concerns. You have very valid concerns, and they should be addressed. Whether or not the zoning goes through or not, your concerns should be addressed. And Grove City will have some degree of obligation to at least hear you, but secondly, perhaps mitigate some of those impacting them. Certainly if the Darby watershed, I mean, there are requirements for mitigation there. If that turns out to be the case, flooding issues, that's always a safety issue, even more than it is an environmental impact issue in my eyes. And then the data center noise, those are all legitimate things that you can raise that should be considered during any rezoning process. So
And
I think
if
Matt might want to respond
Right,
to.
and I just want to add, your rezoning process for municipality is a legislative act, obviously subject to referendum, and then the development process of meeting standards that relate to things like variances are administrative processes subject to quasi-judicial processes.
And go ahead, Matt, you can come up as you're coming up. To be clear, I want to make sure we get through, it is Be Nice to a Lawyer Day today, so I don't know if you all know that, but so I just want to be clear, what she was saying through all of that is, what we have before us today has met the standards for us to approve it as an annexation. And we're just considering that part. Our legal counsel advises us as to whether or not we've met all of those legal requirements, and that's what we're considering today. So I just want to be clear, I don't want to say our hands are tied, but that's kind of the legal process and what she was saying. And Commissioner Crawley's running the meeting, so it's up to her whether or not she allows you to speak. She doesn't have to, but I will defer to her. I know Matt was going to respond to my comments.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt, and then if you have any clarifying information, I know the attorney, you're the attorney for the, are you the attorney for the, yeah, okay, you had your hand up, go ahead.
Yes, Commissioners, I just wanted to address the comment regarding the Darby watershed. I checked the general land use plan map for the Darby watershed, and this site is not located in the Darby watershed per that map. And also, I just wanted to address the one comment from Ms. McClellan regarding the filing date.
Okay.
And this came up as an issue with a prior annexation a couple of weeks ago, that the first date listed in the resolution in your first paragraph, it references March 14th. That is the date that the annexation was journalized to the commissioners. The petition was filed on March 8th. So the March 14th date is not the filing date, that was the journalization date.
Okay.
So I just wanted to clarify that point.
Thank you. Attorney for the petitioners.
If you could please state your name before you begin speaking.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Jack Reynolds. I'm an attorney with Smith & Hale. And I just wanted to get up and reiterate what Janine did say in terms of this is an administrative process under 709-021. And obviously, we've gone through, and as Janine said, we've met the Ohio Revised Code requirements. And the neighbors have participated so far, and they have been invited to continue to participate in the rezoning process at the city of Grove City. So obviously, the issues that were brought up here this morning will be considered as a part of the ongoing process.
Okay.
Again, this is just the
Right.
minute, so thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Absolutely. I just wanted Janine to come up to always make it clear for our residents, our neighbors, what our what our responsibility and obligation is. And Commissioner Boyce laid that out. Ma'am, do you have any clarifying information that you would like to provide and any additional information?
Ma'am,
No,
if you
can
could please
over?
come to the podium.
So I'm hoping this is Be Nice to People That Aren't Attorneys Day also.
We can make it that, I guess.
Okay. So because of my occupation, I'm a Realtor. The folks that are requesting the annexation knew absolutely that the church was being sold. The people that signed, even on March 8th, we all know that even with a cash buyer, it's going to take several weeks for a transaction to close and then be recorded on the auditor's website. So this has gone forward knowing that the church was in contract, getting ready to close. This was pushed through as quickly as possible so that Chad Klein and Freedom Fellowship Church would still be the owners of the property. Is that okay? I heard the attorney say, sure, it wasn't sold yet, but it was about to be sold. And without that church, the Trap Farm is an island with borders being touched by Jackson and Pleasant Township, which I'm no attorney, but I can read, and it looks to me like that you're not allowed to have an island of Grove City annexation surrounded by municipal townships. Without the church, dead in the water.
Well, thank you. I appreciate those additional comments. As Commissioner Boyce said, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine, because we're getting ready to move on. But, you will have the opportunity to continue to be engaged as this moves forward. We, by law, could approve this or will approve it because it meets the statutory requirement for our approval. And so with that, I don't have, unless you have any additional comments or questions.
No, ma'am. If there are no further comments or questions, I will say I do appreciate the residents coming and sharing your thoughts and perspectives. I do think you have some valid issues that need to be addressed. And I know the attorney that's working on this project, and he's an experienced guy that understands the voice of the community in that, and I'm sure he'll do the best he can, right, to make sure your voice is heard and try to work with you the best he can. With that, if there are no comments or questions, additionally, I move for passage of 294-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 294-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 295-23, review of petition to annex 0.847 acres more or less from Perry Township to the City of Columbus, case number ANX-13-23.
Commissioners, this resolution is to consider an expedited Type 1 annexation petition of 0.846 acres from Perry Township to the City of Columbus. The area to be annexed includes the property located at 1285 North Port Circle Road, parcel number 216-151-199. The petition was filed by Jackson B. Reynolds III on behalf of the property owners Matthew Howard and Maureen Wooten. 94% of the site's perimeter is contiguous to the City of Columbus, and an annexation agreement was entered into on August 19th, 2020 between Perry Township and Columbus. The petition meets all statutory requirements outlined in section 709.022 of the Ohio Revised Code. Pending any questions, staff requests your approval of this resolution.
All right, if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 295-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 295-23 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one, or I'll see you shortly. Never mind. Job and Family Services.
You mean never mind, you can have a good day?
Until then. Until then.
Have a good day, never mind. We know what you meant, Commissioner.
Okay,
We know
I
what you meant.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Resolution number 297-23, resolution approving a subaward agreement with Jewish Family Services for workforce employment services in the amount of $150,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Vivian Turner, Chief Administrator for Franklin County Job and Family Services. The Community Renewal Enrichment Through Work program targets adult job seekers that are at or below 300% of the federal poverty level. Participants receive workforce training and soft skills development, including resume building, interviewing, and job search strategies. Job seekers are paired with a career counselor to create individual employment plans that identifies their employment goals. During the last award period, 100 residents were enrolled in the CREW program, and over 50 that were enrolled obtained employment earning average wages of $19.24. Under this new award, Jewish Family Services will provide workforce services for no less than 75 Franklin County residents and place them into jobs paying a minimum of $15 an hour, followed by job retention services. This resolution aligns with goal number 4 of our Rise Together blueprint, and pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 297-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 297-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 298-23, resolution approving a document management agreement between the Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services and ComDoc, a Xerox company, for the provision of equipment and maintenance services in the amount of $550,000.
Commissioners, this resolution supports our agreement with the Xerox company to support the document management. The agreement is effective beginning April 1st, 2023, I believe through March of 2026. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 298-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 298-23 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners, and have a wonderful Tuesday.
Thank you. You too. Next up, Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 299-23, resolution authorizing a contract with Alvis Incorporated for the implementation of the Pathways Program for justice-involved males at risk for recidivism and unintentional drug overdose in the amount of $239,917.70.
Thank you, and good morning, Board of Commissioners and County Administration. Rochelle Pride, Director for the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. OJPP intends to continue to partner with Alvis Incorporation for the purpose of implementing Male Pathways programming. Alvis Inc. has been providing pre- and post-release services for adult males identified at booking into our jail as at risk for recidivism and opioid-related overdose since 2020. This new contract with Alvis will support the transition from their reentry division to their behavioral health division, which will focus on pre-release programming, which will include, but be not limited to, screening and assessment, 8 weeks of cognitive behavioral intervention groups, transition planning, and case management services. Post-release programming will include case management, peer support services, transportation assistance, and treatment referral and linkage, as well as transitional housing supports. OJPP will continue to coordinate close with Alvis and the Franklin County Sheriff's Office to ensure smooth implementation and a more robust service of programming for our men who are impacted by our carceral setting. Similar to the Female Pathways Program, OJPP will review recidivism data and jail bed nights for 3 years pre- and post-program participation. This resolution supports goal number 9 of our Rise Together Blueprint, and pending any questions, we would ask your approval of this resolution.
Thank you. Commissioner Crawley, I will tell you that this is one of my favorite programs. I had the opportunity to see the Women Pathways group up close and personal, and they invited me to be a speaker to that group. And there's probably nothing that I've done over the last few years that's more inspiring, and to work with folks who have had different turns in their life for whatever reason, but are really working hard to get into a different direction for things. And I'm just so excited about this men's group, and I hope that I just offered myself to come and speak to that group as well.
Yes.
At any time, I think Commissioner Crawley would make a great speaker, as well as Commissioner O'Grady. Yes. It's really just a great program, and I'm really excited to see the men's program taking shape. So.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. We will make sure everyone receives an invite to join this amazing celebration and milestone for our men and women. Thank you.
Yep. If there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 299-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 299-23 has been adopted. Resolution number 323. Resolution authorizing a grant-funded contract for service with Hope Dealer Community to provide case management, linkages to care, and drop-in center services to individuals at high risk for overdose and death due to substance use in the amount of $142,461.
Thank you. In presenting this resolution today, I have with me our OJPP Grants Administrator, Caitlin Looney, as well as Mr. Scott Sanders, who is the Executive Director of Hope Dealer Community, doing business as Hope Resource Center. In October of 2022, the board approved a resolution authorizing the Office of Justice Policy and Programs to receive a Year 3 Supplemental Extension Sub-Grant Award from the Franklin County Public Health Center for Disease Control for our Overdose Data to Action grant to provide linkage to care services to Franklin County populations at high risk for overdose. Hope Dealer Community gained administrative oversight of the Hope Resource Center program in its new location on November 1st of 2022. While services have remained similar, OJPP has worked closely with the new organization's leadership to ensure compliance with local, state, and federal regulations, such as zoning and other requirements. OJPP has also participated in community conversations with residents to better facilitate a collaborative relationship between Hope Dealer Community, residents, the City of Columbus departments, as well as local law enforcement. The contract term is December 1st of 2022 through August 31st, and as approved by the funder to meet these programmatic and budgetary goals outlined in the original subaward. OJPP has continued to work closely with county administration and our prosecutor's office, which we thank tremendously for making sure that we were diligent in supporting this resolution. And we've been navigating this since about October of 2022 to implement lessons learned from the original partnership with the organization that operated the Hope Resource Center. OJPP is prepared to provide hands-on technical assistance and funding oversight. And at this time, I would like to give Mr. Sanders an opportunity to say a few words.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak here. Hope Dealer Community, this resolution will allow us to more than double our hours of operation and increase staff. Since December, we've been operating 9 hours a week or 36 hours a month, and that's just 3 of us as peer supporters, and we've been able to link folks off the street and into substance use disorder treatment services at a rate of less or more than one every 3 hours. And we also understand the concept of being good neighbors in this area of town, and we have been engaging the community over the last few months as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And pending any questions, we would seek your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 300-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 300-23 has been adopted.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
You too. Next up, purchasing.
Resolution number 30123, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $2,568,185.92.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing. And joining me is Tamika Bumper, Economic Equity Administrator in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This resolution requests your approval of 89 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Tamika has prepared the supplier diversity data to share with you today. Good morning, Tamika.
Good morning, Megan, and good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Commissioners, Director Perry Balanier is asking for approval of 6 purchase orders. Of these purchase orders, 5% is going to women business enterprises, and 1% will be going to small business enterprises. Once these are approved, 6 agencies will have provided opportunities for equity and inclusion to small businesses. These agencies include the Auditor's Office, Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court, Engineer, Probate Court, and the Sheriff's Office. Pending any questions, we seek your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 301-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 30123 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Thank you. Have a good one. Next up, we have Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 30223, resolution appointing Heather Brilliant to the Columbus Downtown Development Corporation Board of Directors.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lauren Gressel, Assistant Director of Community Appointments. Ms. Brilliant is very eager and qualified to serve in this position, and pending any questions, respectfully ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 302-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 30223 has been adopted. Resolution number 30323, resolution reappointing Craig Treniff to the Central Ohio Transit Authority Board of Trustees.
Mr. Treniff is a member in good standing, and pending any questions, respectfully ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 303-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Resolution number 30323 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will stand in recess until.
Is there a motion to
Oh,
move?
sorry.
No?
We might need to do that. Sorry. I'm eager.
Move to recess until 2 p.m. For the remainder of the agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley?
Yes.
Thank you. We are in recess until 2 p.m.
Are we doing zoning now?
Yeah, yeah. And I got a call that I got to get on. She wasn't off mute. Can you say it again?
Sorry?
Can you say it again? She wasn't off.
Sorry, the coroner?
Sorry about that, guys. I couldn't hear anything. Amanda Wright, representing the coroner's office for Dr. Overmeyer. Our resolution, did Brittany say the resolution part?
No, I'm just sitting here, so thank you.
The thing was cutting in and out, so I thought I missed something.
Things are a little unusual today, Amanda.
See, we are creatures of habit.
My apologies, Commissioners,
Oh,
County
what the-
Administrator. Resolution number 23523, resolution authorizing an agreement with Paul Worth Associates Incorporated to provide public relations consulting in the amount of $25,000.
Okay, now I'll go. So Presented to you is a resolution for an agreement with Paul Worth Associates to provide public relations guidance during this term of the agreement, which will be for 6 months and not to exceed amount of $25,000. With your approval, we ask that the county administrator assign for this agreement on our behalf. Pending any questions, we ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of resolution 235-23.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 235-23 has been adopted.
Thank you, and I apologize.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
thank you.
Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 293-23. Resolution authorizing an affordable housing development agreement with Woda Cooper Companies Incorporated to receive funding through the Magnet Fund program to assist the development of an affordable housing project in the amount of $1,350,000.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. First of all, my apologies. Not sure why my camera is not working. It was working just seconds ago. Emmanuel Torres, Assistant Director of Economic Development and Planning. And this resolution is for an affordable housing development agreement with Woda Cooper Companies from the 2021 application round of the Magnet Fund program. Woda intends to invest approximately $31.36 million and deliver 97 units of affordable housing, which will be appropriate for a variety of populations: singles, young professionals, seniors, single-parent households, and small families. The project, named Starling Yard, will be located on the former West High School and Starling School site, and the units will be affordable between 30% and 80% of the area median income. The amount to be granted through the Magnet Fund is $1,350,000. Today, joining us virtually, we have Jonathan McKay, who's the VP of Development from Woda Cooper Companies, as well as Bruce Watts, who's the Vice President of Development and Chief Diversity Officer. I would like to ask Mr. McKay to share some project highlights briefly.
Emmanuel, thank you. Jonathan McKay, Vice President of Development with Woda Cooper Companies, Inc. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for allowing both Bruce and I to participate today and providing an opportunity to speak. I did want to let everyone know that back on March 28th, Woda Cooper Companies, Inc. staff, which includes myself, Joseph DeCesar, who's our product executive on this development, and Bruce Watts, we did hold a meeting with members of the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department, including Eric Janis, Jim Schimmer, and Mika Withers, as well as President Watson. The purpose of this meeting was to discuss how we can be more intentional regarding MBE and WBE participation in this specific affordable housing development. Obviously, we build and manage as long-term owners. Our understanding that the current iteration of the Franklin County Affordable Housing Magnet Fund guidelines don't require MBE and WBE participation. However, that doesn't mean that we can't start now and be more proactive using Starling Yard as an example, and more purposeful in how we reach out to organizations that qualify that may meet one or both of those qualifications. So specific to Starling Yard, I did get an update prior to this meeting regarding our efforts. The majority of the development is bought out at this time. However, I can say that there are 3 organizations that we anticipate utilizing that qualify as MBEs. One of those in particular also qualifies as a WBE. So I can't say names as nothing has been formalized and it is a bidding process that is still ongoing. But I can provide updates as we move forward in relation to that and keep people posted on those efforts. But we are being purposeful in terms of making progress, and we look forward to more dialogue centered around future versions of the Franklin County Affordable Housing Magnet Fund guidelines and what they may look like in terms of participation percentages. That being said, I thank everybody for allowing me again the platform and the chance to speak today.
Commissioners, pending any questions, we respectfully request your approval of this resolution.
All right, if there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 293-23.
Second?
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 293-23 has been adopted.
All right, thanks, guys. Now, Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 296-23, resolution approving a COVID-19 recovery grant subaward agreement with the Columbus Urban League for the Building and Driving Futures Workforce Training Program in the amount of $1,786,592.99.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Vivian Turner, Chief Administrator. The Columbus Urban League has partnered with the Columbus Central Ohio Building and Constructions Trade Council to oversee a 12-week pre-apprenticeship program which blends soft skills and trade-specific training with Driving Future trade-specific training, while Driving Futures is a 6-week training program that leads to a commercial driver's license and other commercial driver's license certification. In both cases, participants receive tutoring, mentoring, and other supportive services to remove barriers and ensure successful program completion. Over the last grant period, 123 Building and Driving Futures graduates were placed into apprenticeships and job opportunities, earning average wages of $27 an hour. Under this agreement, the Columbus Urban League is responsible for providing training and supportive services for Driving Futures training graduates. The services include payment of stipends, barrier removal, tutoring, mentoring, post-placement, and follow-up supports, and finally, a project closeout, completing the project closeout activities through June of 2023. This resolution supports goal number 3 of our Rise Together blueprint, and pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
Thank you. If there are no comments or questions, move for approval of Resolution 296-23.
Second?
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 296-23 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Vivian. Clerk, are there any journalizations?
There are not today, Commissioner.
Okay. Well, then, if there's, are there any members of the media that would like to talk to any of the commissioners or ask any questions? Hearing none, that concludes our business.
Thank you. All right.
My apologies about